Hi, I'm Jesse Abbott, your host of Valley News Now, and I am so excited because today our guest is the CEO of Girl Scouts Dakota Horizons, Marla Meyer. Let me get her pulled up. There she is. Thank you so much for being with us, Marla.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me, what does the CEO of Girl Scouts Dakota Horizons, if you can at all even try to sum it up?
Oh gosh. Okay. Well, ultimately it's a privilege to lead Girl Scouts Dakota Horizons and uh our mission, building girls of courage, confidence, and character to make the world a better place. And so everything I do is to help support the people that are supporting that mission.
Hmm.
So what's interesting that sometimes people the good news on Girl Scouts is generally you think of the fun things about Girl Scouts and
Yeah.
the brand and the girl experience, and we try and help people understand the outcomes. And what goes with that is there actually is a behind the scenes business that you sort of have to run.
Right.
You have to have a strong business to be able to deliver a great mission. So I oversee all those
Wow.
functional areas that we have. Mission delivery has multiple things within it, and that's probably what we're all here to support.
Yeah.
And then you have, finance, marketing, resource development, all the things that you would find in a traditional business, I would say.
Yeah. It's a lot. And you always have a smiling face. I don't know how you do that, but there's a lot of
Well,
pieces.
I try. It's Girl Scouts. It's with all of it, it still should be fun.
It
So
is. It's such a great, great group of women, and there's men there too. It's just an amazing organization. And so, okay, you are traveling to Florida next week for the national convention. Now, this happens. Remind me however many years.
so that happens every 3 years. So
Okay.
every 3 years, the entire Girl Scout movement gets together. So that is 100 plus Girl Scout councils
Wow.
that get together, and you each, based on your membership and size, you get to bring delegates. And at Dakota Horizons, we bring six, and
Yeah.
our board and board development committee have done a wonderful job of being focused on really getting older girls that
Cool.
experience. So, of our delegates, of our six, four of them are girls.
Oh, that's
So we
awesome.
have four girls. So you go and you're conducting, supporting the business of the entire Girl Scout
Yeah.
movement. So there's proposals that they've been studying about. They've been learning. It's very much Robert's Rules of Order and how a formal meeting occurs.
Yep.
And then they also vote the incoming Girl Scout USA board of directors
Wow.
and things like that. But it's great discussion. They get an opportunity if they want to go to the mic and talk about things or ask questions, and they're amongst thousands of people. So
Wow. What an amazing opportunity for those delegates.
yeah, so you have the business portion of it, and then a few years ago, at one time they knew that girls would attend also, and they
Yeah.
were kind of mixing it in. But now they've changed it to where we have pretty much 3 days of the business, and then we go into 2 days of something that's called Phenom, and that is
Hmm.
planned by girls for girls.
Love.
So it is all kinds of speakers and
Wow.
time for them to get together, and it literally is there's a girls from across the country that are part of a group that they plan everything right down to the food. So
Wow.
uh, we have our girl delegates and a handful of other girls that have elected to travel to Orlando for that as well. So that is going to be amazing. One of the traditions for Girl Scouts is when you're moving to a next level, you bridge, and
Yep.
so they'll have a big national bridging ceremony.
Oh,
A couple of our girls that are going are Gold Award Girl Scouts, our highest
yeah.
award girls can receive and earn. And so there's a celebration just for them. And
Oh.
so, and when I say a celebration or what's happening at Phenom, I think there's over 8,000 Girl Scouts that will be
Oh
there.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. What an incredible experience. And I know we say this, I'm so thrilled that we get to do updates weekly with Girl Scouts because there's so much going on. But I just have to say it every time. I mean, what an opportunity for girls. I can't imagine being that age, being chosen as a delegate and getting to have that experience. When you go into the workforce, I mean, you are not going to be intimidated. you
Right.
know,
Right. Yeah.
you've
I mean,
done some
we
things.
see that, and you've seen it, personally. We see
Yeah.
it that very often the skill that when they reach a certain point, they probably have it early on. Ooh, I don't know if I want to, how much I
Yep.
want to introduce myself or talk to people. And they start doing that in kindergarten when they're
Yeah.
with Girl Scouts, right? Like they start doing that. And then as they get to middle school, where, they're going through a lot of changes as well, very
Hmm.
often Girl Scouts, they'll be the first ones to engage adults in a
Yeah.
conversation, or whatever it is, they just, that's just part of what they do.
Yeah, it's that experience, and like you said, it's girl led. So they're used to having a say in what they do, and they'll continue
Yeah,
to do that, to take that into their careers, which is just so
yeah,
cool.
yeah, it's very
Um,
cool.
so it sounds like there are other travel opportunities available for Girl Scouts. Bailey had mentioned the trips: Washington D.C., New York City, Scotland, and Ireland.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and it's really fun when we get an opportunity to go talk to potential Girl Scouts and talk to them about all the things that you've probably been talking about for the last several weeks. But one of them is travel, and you ask
Yeah.
them, if they've ever been to certain places or if they would like to travel, and it's fun because it's not an exaggeration,
No.
in any way. We talk to them about, there's international travel.
Yeah.
And you can do it either with your troop, you can do it individually with other Girl
Yeah.
Scouts. I think you've traveled, right?
I did. I
And
got to go
so,
to London in 2018. Now it's been a little while, but
yeah,
it was honestly life-changing for me to do that. It was the first trip I had done that, and then to experience it at the same time as the girls who were in a
right.
totally different time of life. I thought, wow, that is unbelievable to be able to do that at a young age, and just to know it's possible. You can get on a plane and go
Yeah,
across the ocean and experience and learn all kinds of things.
yeah, yeah. There's, regional travel. They
Yeah.
start, sometimes they'll go to another regional city and as a troop and do some fun
Yeah.
things, but then they really build to some of these other things if they're interested, if that's their
Right.
interest. And and pushing them sometimes a little bit out of their comfort zone.
Yep.
Sometimes it's just something, this from experience, that there's nothing you can read about places, which is great, but there's nothing, you don't forget it if you experience it. And
Right.
so last year I had the opportunity, our council did a trip to Savannah, Georgia, which is the
Oh,
birthplace of our founder, Juliet Gordon Lowe. And so seeing those girls take all of that in,
yeah.
and the rich Girl Scout history,
Mm.
the stories that you hear from the people that are in that area about Julia Gordon Lowe, they're hilarious when they're retelling
That's
them because
awesome.
they're fun, and it's fun to hear that and see that. And then you do things that are beyond that, that push their
Yeah.
limits. And you've maybe heard me tell a story about my niece who was on that trip last year, and she's someone that really likes to know the plan, and she
Okay.
has, she prepares for it. And we went to climb a lighthouse,
Oh,
and
wow.
so we weren't really, we didn't exactly know what it was going to be. Our guides
Sure.
did. I mean, we were, so you're standing at the bottom, and it's the oldest lighthouse in the state of Georgia,
Oh,
and it's a
cool.
fully functioning lighthouse.
Wow.
And so she was at the bottom of that lighthouse, and lighthouses are kind of scary,
Yeah.
right? Like the steps kind of are
Right.
narrow towards the middle, and then you can only hang on to the outside. So she got in there, and of course, her fellow Girl Scouts were um, encouraging her, and
Yeah.
she was like, she was a hard pass. And so my happens to be our one of our troop helpers happens to also be her mom, and so and my sister. So I was like, let's just let's just
Just,
switch spots for a second.
yeah.
So Aunt Marla went down as a Girl Scout helper, CEO, and all the things, and did that right, that combo of encouraging
Right.
girls to get out of their comfort zone with a
Yep.
little extra push.
Little
And I'm like,
nudge.
you only
Yes.
have to go up 21 steps. There's 21 steps,
Yeah.
and then there's 5 sets of 21 steps. But I'm like, let's just go up to that first level. So finally got her to go, and she got up there, and my sister was like, I'm so proud of you. And she's
Yeah.
like, let's keep going. And Savannah was like, my niece was like, Aunt Marla said I only had to go up one. But she found her courage, and she went all the way to the top and the outside of
Wow.
that lighthouse. So that
Wow.
was her Girl Scout experience of finding, pushing her beyond
Yep.
her comfort zone. And then so incredibly, you should have seen her face at the top of the lighthouse.
I bet.
Yeah.
You know, when you think, okay, she climbed a thing, that's not a big deal. No, it's a huge deal, because when you think there's something in your mind that you can't do, and then you overcome that just, it bleeds into all other parts of your life. And so it really, what a moment for her. That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's things like that happen all the time. I don't get to experience all of them, but you sure remember it when you do, and you know that our volunteers are what make our organization tick. And so when they get to experience things like that all the time as well, which is pretty awesome. They help make those things happen. But yeah, travel it impacts you lifelong, you know that.
Yes.
We have some really big trips planned for 25, 26.
Ooh.
And I have direct messaging to not share what they are because we haven't announced them yet. But what we're going to do is when we're in Orlando next week, the girls that are there are going to help us film some videos to tease them a bit. But
fun.
There's some really fun things ahead. By the way, not
great.
that DC and New York and Scotland and Ireland aren't fun, but even beyond that.
Yeah.
And we generally don't decide where those big trips are going. We have a group called the Girl Advisory Board, which is made up of older Girl Scouts in our council. And our team puts things in front of them and talks it through. And I'm pretty certain the one that we're going to announce, they picked it. So it's gonna be epic. You're gonna want to be a Girl Scout again.
Yeah, seriously, yes. Well, I'm gonna keep bugging Bailey every week until she spills the beans.
Yeah, do that.
So this is kind of a fun thing too. You sit on the National Steering Committee for Girl Scout Cookie Program, and so you have the chance to taste test. That sounds like the best job ever.
Yeah, it is. There are, I believe, about 11 CEOs from across the country that we are on the National Steering Committee for the product programs, for the cookie program specifically. And we work with a team from Girl Scout USA, and we meet quarterly and really work on the strategy for this nearly $1 billion cookie program that girls do. And so, I have my background before Girl Scouts was a lot of time in consumer packaged goods. Yeah. So it's a good fit for me to use my life from before to support the movement with that. But it is fun. So we do many things. It's not, we spend a lot of time the last few years, as you can imagine, on things like supply chain. But as the world has had its challenges. But I'm also I'm the co-chair of the National Committee, and then I serve on the subcommittee for innovation. So
cool.
The last couple cookies that have come out, I helped partway through the Lemon Up, but the Adventureful and then this year's online only Raspberry Rally were like my babies, because there's about three or four CEOs that are part of that with a small group, and then we work with each baker. And cool. We develop it from concept through tasting, through consumer testing, through naming, branding.
Yeah, I bet it's a ton of work. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like, you get to taste cookies, but to come up with it, to decide which one, how it complements the rest, all the things, there's got to be a ton involved in that. Well, you've done an amazing job so far, so I can't wait to see. Is there another one coming out this year?
No, we're working on one right now.
Okay.
But it's, I'd say probably in 25 or 26.
Okay. Sure. Well, good, because I can only buy so many boxes.
Yeah. So it's a little bit down the line, but
that's good.
I hope this one comes to light, and if it does, I have tried 3 or 4 versions of it. It's really good.
I love that. That is so awesome. Okay, one more thing, and is Girl Scout Resident Camp going on this week in Aberdeen?
It is.
And your daughter is there.
She is. She's there. Her and 3 other girls from her troop are there, but they're there there's over 50 girls.
Wow.
At this resident camp in Aberdeen, and it's a wonderful place for camp. It's also, though, they're not, the camps are a little, it's a little rustic. So,
it's camp.
A big bunk room and with a lot of Girl Scouts, and so they're having fun. because I'm the CEO and she's there, I try to have occasional spies
Yeah.
with what's going on.
Nice.
I can't help myself. No, but I heard from somebody yesterday that they were having a wonderful time. And they do everything from STEM activities in the outdoors, do some science in the outdoors to
Yep.
I heard through the grapevine one of her highlights was flipping her canoe, but they had life jackets and everything on. I'm going to have to question how intentional they were with that. But doing those outdoor activities and getting a little dirty and in their case probably a little wet
Yep.
From the lake is awesome. In Aberdeen, we just have a great spot up there, and so
Wonderful.
they are doing all the traditions up there this week as well.
I love that. That is so great. Everybody should go camping at least once.
Yeah, yeah. And in our family, she's primarily going to get that camping at camp.
Yeah, that would be my experience as well. I did go once
Yeah.
with Girl Scouts because you have to, and
Yes.
I was like, how time can slow down. Put me in the outdoors.
Yeah, exactly.
We all have our
I'm
different strengths.
again, troop helper. I'm a troop. Just tell me what to do, and I will dig in and do it. But
Yep.
I probably don't lead the singing or the exactly how you set up the camp.
Right.
I'm willing to do whatever you ask me.
I'm the same. I'm like, tell me what to do. I'll be your little minion. But
Yeah. When it comes to helping with the events, I'm all in.
Yep,
And
yep.
it's fun. But yeah, those girls are having, can only hope, such a wonderful experience. And we really work with them to try to unplug and
Yeah, that's great.
be up there and enjoy each other and their time.
And
So,
nature. Oh, that's wonderful. Well, the last thing, and then I know you are busy, I will let you go, but just a fast plug for Cookies, Corks, and Brews coming up in Fargo, and not until September, but really that's only 2 months away.
it
So,
is 2 months away. So if we're not getting it on your calendar, we're probably not going to.
Right.
So we appreciate you helping MC that event. Cookies, Corks, and Brews. It's a one of a kind fundraising event for Girl Scout Dakota Horizons. It's in the Fargo area.
yeah.
We actually we're having it at the Armory
Yes.
in Moorhead, and we had it there last year for the first time. It was so fun.
It was.
What I hear when people come to this event, it's an event for grown-ups. So
Yep.
it is a grown-up event. It's called Cookies, Corks, and Brews. And we have local area chefs that each get a cookie, and then they do a tasting dessert. And so you get to try all the desserts. You get to do cookie and wine or beer and wine pairings
Yes.
with some Girl Scout cookies, and then really you hear about some things about the mission, and it's a way for adults to have a fun night out
Yeah.
and support our future leaders.
It is. It's such a fun night, and you got to go hungry because there's a lot of desserts. And I believe we have 9 chefs coming to the Fargo one this year, so we will be
Yeah.
eating well.
Yeah, maybe have a little protein before you head in.
Good
I'm
idea.
just kidding.
Yeah,
We
lots
do
of
have
water.
light appetizers as well. So,
Thank you so much, Marla. I appreciate your time so much today, and it was fun to get to catch up with you and highlight some of the things going on in Girl Scouts right now.
Absolutely. Well, we will see you in just a couple months.
Yeah, that'll be great. Okay, thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Take care.
Have an awesome
Bye.
day. Bye-bye.